You know, when you come and you visit this place, you can tell that this is a real old building. The parts and pieces and the proportions are all there. This is and was a country house, and it's from a great tradition of sort of latter 19th century, early 20th century English/Scottish country houses. It's not French, it's not Italian, it's not German. And so there's a real, particularly outside, there's a real elegance of restraint to this building. You look at it, the beauty comes from the thickness of these walls and the monolithic, subtle nature of the stucco. And they're very clever, subtle proportions. In the same way, when you come inside and you look at the plaster ceilings and the carved woodwork, you go up that wonderful main stair and you look at the balustrade and the wainscoting and the cap of the paneling. So it's of the nature of that sort of Anglo-Saxon, Scottish architectural language that, you know, makes it what it is.
Those subtleties that we may not even fully understand are the reasons that we all love the Grant Mansion. When we bring a guest for drinks or dinner, we are proud to be a part of something so classic, special, and timeless. Beginning in August, Cherokee embarks on a most important renovation, a renovation that will add entirely new spaces and will tie recently renovated spaces back into the grandeur of the old house. After a major expansion of the building in 2009, membership surveys indicated a lack of enthusiasm, a feeling that the club may have made a mistake.
The biggest thing that people felt was the lack of connection between the front of the house and the back of the house, and all the appointments that you might feel from a fine Buckhead residence. And so things like flooring, wainscoting, little architectural details, railings, all of that stuff that people actually notice but they don't necessarily consciously identify with, that was what was missing.
You saw it as you walked down the casual corridor to the back of the house. Hardwood floors disappeared. Wainscoting was replaced with simple sheetrock. By the time you looked down the long corridor to the backside dining, you had forgotten all about the old Grant Mansion. All of that is about to change in a most impressive and intriguing way. Let's review all of the changes that are about to occur. It began in late July when the Williams Room got a facelift. Darker colors, additional artwork, and new upholstery. The goal, a warmer room and a more intimate experience. In addition, the room just outside the Williams Room, the Williams Lounge, is getting a total redesign that will make it feel more like the main bar. The Williams Room and Lounge will be complete in early August. Next, on the southwest portion of the property, you'll see a new water detention area and additional parking. Then beginning just after Labor Day, work will begin on major changes to the tennis offices and pro shop, and there will be an entirely new tennis viewing center. Today, when you stand on the southwest corner of court number 7, this is what you see. By next spring, this is what you'll see: a much enlarged pro shop and a tennis viewing area unmatched at any club in Atlanta.
There's three things that we're trying to improve about the tennis center. One is stuff that they don't see, which is the back of house facilities that the staff needs, their offices, and they're all on top of each other right now. Sort of their back of house space is too small. So we're going to give them adequate space so they can function better. The pro shop itself, where members will interface with the staff and there'll be merchandise there and all that. We're going to give them a larger and nicer space that's nicely appointed.
But the biggest change will be a place to be and gather, an outdoor viewing area with a fireplace, trusses, paneling, and perfect sight lines to the tennis courts.
Now you've got a really handsome building that feels just like the old house, and it could have been a sleeping house for the servants. The way it's designed, it has a great view of the course and a great porch that looks out on. That's just the sort of perfect location and the perfect function.
Also beginning after Labor Day, construction of the crown jewel of this renovation, the new Grant's dining room. Today, if you stand at the southwest corner of the patio, this is what you see. By spring, it will be replaced with a grand new addition to the building, with high ceilings, large windows, wainscoting, distinctive hardwood floors, and views directly at the pool. And on the end of Grants will be outdoor seating and dining, even more seating than we presently have.
I think it'll be a spectacular view and a great setting for people to enjoy family dining. I think the terraces on either side will create a very intimate outdoor alfresco experience. We've added fireplaces on both the outside terraces, which I think will be extremely popular, probably particularly in the fall and in early winter. I think Grants is going to be a home run, and people just sit inside and enjoy what feels like kind of an outdoor space with the windows and the light and airy feel of it.
So that whole Grants casual dining room will be this enormous space with this cavernous ceiling. So this room is going to have really unique finishes as well. It's going to have an 8-foot tall wainscoting around the room that's in a walnut species. And the finish on that walnut is it's a hand-applied kind of whitewashed stain. So that's kind of the envelope of the room. And then the flooring, which is one of my favorite parts, is wide, 8-inch wide plank flooring with a hand-scraped finish and little wormholes. So it really has an aged look to it. So it looks old, just like the old house. This room is going to be really unique to Atlanta and to the south. I mean, it's nothing like anything we've ever done before. And it's ultimately going to have a nice casual look, but it's also going to be elegant.
And in January, the 155 will go away, and the tavern will more than double in size and become very much like an English-Scottish pub.
The bar that we're creating is truly a Scottish style bar. It's all paneled with just enriched finishes, a marble top, a brass rail around the bar, plaster on one wall to give it a little more texture on the walls with a wonderful stained wainscot.
The bar shape itself is very unique. It's an oval shape. This placement of the bar really creates kind of the hub of the room, and once you're sitting there, you're kind of, that's where all the activity is. So this room will feel active. Again, we have the same flooring that's in Grants, these 8-inch wide planks with a nice aged look to them. The bar top is this really beautiful granite stone in this kind of French blue-green color. The walls have a wainscoting out of this really wonderfully stained rift and quartered oak, and we've applied a hand-rubbed, hand-applied finish that really looks like furniture, so it's going to have a nice aged look to it as well. And then above that wainscoting is we're going between upholstered wall panels or a really heavily textured wall covering, which is kind of like a grass cloth with a pattern to it.
All of these changes will be complete before Memorial Day 2014, just in time for the opening of the pool. The final change will be transforming the existing Grants Grill into a group exercise room. That will occur early next summer. The governing board came to these decisions after much effort to understand what the membership wanted and expected. After the membership survey in 2010, the committee, the architects, and the interior designers developed a needs assessment, which led the board to develop a 10 to 15-year master plan. Items were then prioritized, and final plans were approved for the present renovation. Finally, Project Vista Chairman John Hamilton and others held a series of open forums where members could hear about future plans and comment. The club also studied usage patterns. They know where we spend our time and our money. From that came the plans for this renovation.
And then the meetings, honestly, were fabulous. The very constructive give and take. Some people maybe didn't necessarily agree with everything that conceptually we were thinking of, but they came up with some great ideas, and many changes occurred which are in the plan today as a result of those meetings.
So the objectives that we set out to meet were, one, to really look at the usage patterns that we had and to build 2 new venues that fit what people both said they wanted and then how they voted with their feet. The second thing is people have really wanted spaces that have personality. And I think they're going to see that in both venues downstairs. And we're going to keep a lot of the advantages that we have with the terrace in terms of outdoor space that people really enjoy. So they're going to get two new things that are great, and they're going to keep the things that they really like.
And again, in all of these spaces, the new will be designed, constructed, and decorated to feel like the old Grant Mansion.
If it feels like it's always been there when we finish, then we will have done our job, I think.